in our house, in the rain state, and we are going to get one of 7 weapons from our uncle that will allow us to complete the escape sequence. And then we will proceed from there as a normal standard seed would.
And we're off.
And we're off. It's dangerous to go alone. See ya!
Uncle, please.
No sword, it looks like, because Uncle is not carrying one, so we're not getting a sword directly from Uncle.
He's leaving us with a nice nice free revive, though. It's true. Well, it is dangerous to go alone. Here, have a friend.
We've got to be a little bit careful here, too. We need to make sure we switch to our weapon before we try to use it, or else we're going to release our fairy, and we're going to be a little sad. And we don't want to see we don't want to see released fairies, because fairies in a bottle may be very difficult to come by if we don't get a bug net.
I mean, to be completely fair, sometimes a fairy gets in the way of you trying to death warp, so...
That's also true. The hammer. We get fast strats this seed.
Hammer's a fantastic one to find right off the start, as it places you basically Mid and Moon Pearl away from Dark World access.
Yeah, always a little sad for the spectators, because they want to see that hammer troll. They want to see Aga 1. Everyone wants the Aga 1 seed, and getting the hammer just takes that away almost immediately.
I mean, maybe not everyone, but a lot of people, yes.
A lot of people.
I like seeing fast seeds over silly ones, so...
So, I agree. I'm saying that as what I typically see in chat versus what I specifically prefer. I like to see one really cleverly hidden item in a seed. Not necessarily trolly, but cleverly hidden, and sort of like you had enough breadcrumbs to pick it out if you chose the right ones.
So you're saying Ice Rod on Laser Bridge?
Ice Rod Laser Bridge isn't a bad example. I also like sort of the clever Pyramid Fairy plays as well. You get a Pyramid Fairy decently early. Don't avoid doing the Pyramid Fairy for forever type of thing.
In case there's hookshot and flippers in there?
Yeah, that kind of thing, exactly.
So as per part of doing standard, we do have to go through the escape sequence as was previously mentioned. And while we're in here, we are still going to be trying to find a bomb. The good thing about the uncle giving you them right at the start is while it is kind of difficult to pull off the escape with them, it does almost guarantee the ability to, hey look, fairy, open up the back part of escape and get those 3 chests without having to make a return trip. So we're probably going to see them running around smashing everything in the face, be it guards, rats, or snakes, in an attempt to get at least a single bomb, preferably more.
Exactly. Or if we happen to find the boots early, that will change a little bit, but I don't think... Boots is sort of not really the expected outcome of the escape sequence.
I'd rather, you know, farm for bombs than hope that boot is in the dark room.
Exactly. Of course, the nice pot and hammer hit strat, about as fast as you can do that. You can theoretically do it a little bit faster with just 2 hammer hits, as it doesn't require you to go into that room, pick up a pot, so on and so forth, but most of the time you sort of want to go heal a heart anyway, so it works out nicely.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, docuhorror getting far enough. Ooh, that was deep down that green guard pool for that bomb drop.
I won't be surprised if we still see one being dropped anyways for...
Yeah, probably won't be from the green guards. We know that the item after the full magic refill off the green guards is a bomb drop, but we will see if... I don't think Load is going to get enough through the green guards to get to that bomb drop. Oh, there's the full magic refill, actually. One more guard kill, maybe. Oh, nope. That had a heart. Must have been off by 1 or something. I don't know. I just pretend I understand what's going on with prize packs in the first place.
I go on the basis if I hit things until I maybe get a bomb, and if I run out of enemies, I leave. I'm sure there's some logic you can approach it through, but...
Yeah. Well, and this is the whole thing, as I do know that every enemy is sort of randomly assigned to a prize pack group, and each of the prize pack groups are also randomized, so it's not really worth trying to figure out, because by the time you figure it out, you'll have already gotten what you were looking for, so it's not really worth mapping, except for on our side to some degree to sort of guess where the bomb drops are going to be. But there we go. Load getting a bomb drop there.
And a bunch of money before going to Kakariko, so...
Yeah.
So rupees are still useful at this point in the game, especially like the 300 packs. We still need the money for the merchant, the digging game, the chest game, and possibly King ripoff.
Yeah.
Not a hugely important thing necessarily, but you're going to want to hit those locations. We're probably going to find more before we actually get to most of them, though, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. As we go in the side room, we have a heart container and not much else.
I mean, I wouldn't argue with that one.
Yeah, a heart container is always nice to see, for sure.
When you have the potential of an early Dark World because it's starting with the hammer.
Well, regardless of if you have early Dark World or not, 3 hearts, you don't want to be going around with 3 hearts for too long in the seed. One of the biggest things that we do that a lot of runners do super early compared to what you would see in NMG is that run along the south shore of Lake Hylia, which has those crabs that like to do 2 hearts of damage, and that doesn't let you live for very long when you've only got 3 or 4 hearts.
No, it does not.
Which is...
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was about to say, and that's one of those little things people don't think about. They're like, why does NMG have no problem with it? So it's like, because NMG doesn't go to the Ice Rod Cave anytime early on. They go to the Ice Rod Cave, 4 dungeons into Dark World.
It is a convenience thing for that route. Oh man, the tier 2 tree pull being a glorious 4 rupees.
Yeah, not quite what you're looking for. Is that tier 2 or tier 3?
Pretty sure they've been taking hits, so tier 2. And the Aghanim Cave is 20 rupees. Okay, docuhorror just got a ton of bombs. That rat was loaded with explosives.
Not to mention one more, just dropping one more for the heck of it, but the 8 bomb drop being huge there.
So depending on finding further bombs, Load might have to actually go and buy more. Ooh, this hoarder crab has big 20s. Might have to buy more and spend a little bit of time in Kakariko and double back to a location, depending on whether they get even a single extra bomb.
Yeah, I expect that we'll see him just route southwards unless he gets a bomb in Blind's hut. He'll just come back to well after he buys bombs from running down, but we'll see exactly what his routing looks like.
There's pretty decent odds of picking up a bomb, simply because there are 5 chests there, but it's still a thing that could save docu-horror time.
Exactly. So let's see what kind of RNG we get for Load's sake. Docu-horror, of course, not going to have any of that issue because he's already full of bombs. Load just needs to make sure he doesn't bounce this one off the wall or something silly like that. Yeah, walking right up to the wall and placing it right against it.
When you've got 1 bomb, you might as well do it.
Hey look, the boots! I called for them, and they appeared. And a mirror.
Wow, this is like Blind's nightmare right here. Can't wear the boots because it doesn't have legs anymore, and they're blind now, so can't even look at the mirror.
Yep.
Also kind of, Load's nightmare as well, because unfortunately no bomb drops in there, so...
Yeah. We'll get a merchant check, see if the merchant has some bombs for us. He does not. He's just giving us a 5-to-1 trade on our rupees.
Seems fair.
And a lift upgrade. We have
The
a power.
oven mitt.
And then a sick kid has the bombs. Well, we get to buy bombs afterwards.
I can see the tavern having a glove. You need stuff to get out of the oven, or pull stuff out of the oven somehow. But why does the little kid have bombs?
Why not? Why would he have anything else?
I mean, when you take his lunch money, it makes sense.
Oh, look, more bombs. Slow now just gets to charge back up, go into the well. Then we'll get to see if he decides to buy more bombs. I would expect that he probably will. I know I would, but it is a sort of a runner preference, of course. Because he does sort of... Because he has enough to do what he needs to do, but the hammer's a little wonky to kill mini Moldorms with if you're going to mini Moldorm Cave.
Oh yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
Although with a sword, changes a little bit. Also, of course, the flippers. So we're going to see that South Light World check real quick. Yeah.
I never like seeing flippers early. I'm a big fan of the risk of fake flippering, so...
Well, as long as we don't get any fake flippers, because people forget that we have real flippers.
Wow. How convenient that that's here.
Look at that. There's a moon pearl.
Look, Dark World access. You sure we're going to go to South Shore? Maybe we're just going to turn around and go straight back up to, I don't know, Skullwoods or something.
It's possible. And given that we do have the hammer and putting Thieves Town into access, ooh, that was super fast. Okay, he didn't mean to go that fast. But Vanilla Green Pendant, which seems to be happening a lot right now. Red Pendant on Desert, and just a general crystal on Tower of Hera, I believe it was. I don't think it was a 5/6. No, it's not.
Yeah, with a setup like this, that's pretty good seeing the crystal up there on Tower of Hera, though, because we already have most of what we need to do it. Technically speaking, for it to be logic, we still need a lamp or flute, but...
Yeah, but we can get there if we want to. It's not even a bad check right now, because given that we also have the hammer makes it a little bit more valuable, because we can get over to the East Death Mountain area as well. So lots and lots of plays that our runners can choose to make here in the very near future.
It looks like we're going to go with the standard issue South Shore, though.
Yep. Not surprising.
It's a safe check because it is at least 6 items in very quick succession. 6. Math is hard. 7. And that's not counting Ice Rod Cave or the Hobo, or even heading up to a waterfall cave.
I was about to say the rest of those the rest of those locations that we all have. Ooh, that was I have no idea what's in that chest.
Frame draw, please.
Will the main restream have anything for us? No, it won't. More bombs. Well, I think he'll probably take those because he is still a little short on bombs.
Giving one back to the little kid for good measures. No, Docu, you want that.
Definitely want the Moon Pearl.
That is not a differently colored bomb.
And Load not having any luck with bomb strats, and just going to save the rest of his bombs and go kill them with his sword.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet to go with.
Yeah, you already made the gamble of not buying more bombs to cover yourself. You better not waste what you do have. Wow, we're getting all the fairies.
Are we going to get the 4 fairy seed?
Perhaps. And Load making the play to go straight for... Okay, we are going up. I'm like, is he going up? He is. And wow! Well, there's 3 fairies in bottles. Can't get that one yet. Well, actually, we can get that one.
That's actually really weird being able to get Island this early. I don't think they're gonna pick it up though.
Which actually is an interesting note that if Docu's actually gonna make this play that actually Load should have also made, which was he's gonna do Hype Cave right now.
Oh man, yeah, it's very easy to forget that when you get hammer and glove type Dark World access this early.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll continue taking the Dark World portal with him, but I expect there's a good chance that he'll just get Hype Cave, then dump the portal here. Because there's not a lot of need to take it with him unless he really does want to just blind check the Hylia Island.
If he does, I'm going to eat my words. Wow.
Hookshot! That being said, Hookshot doesn't really do a lot for us logically, aside from, of course... Actually, does that give us... Wow, Swamp Palace is in logic with that.
Oh, man. Come on, just go to Swamp Palace now.
Yeah, may as well. It's a crystal. Just go to Swamp Palace.
Come on, 16 minutes Swamp Palace. Let's do it.
5 and 6 crystals in Thieves Town and Skull Woods. Blue pendant on Ice Palace. Like, how many times have we seen I'm not sure I've ever seen a seed with Swamp Palace available at 16 minutes.
This is a really, really unusual and silly source of diver. Oh no! No! Jumpy thing!
That's the problem with early Dark Worlds. Fortunately, we have a fairy. Because we have lots of fairies. Although, granted, Ducky only has 1 fairy right now, so that's a different issue. Waterfall Cave having not much. Big 20 and an arrow. And the first chest in Dam having a big 20 as well, so now that we know that.
Load might have a bit of an issue here. Going up to Zora with not 500 rupees. Yep, they're gonna just take a look at the ledge and save and quit.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Very nice docuhorror.
The good old hold something over your head so the portal can't pull you in.
Yep.
Leaving the portal there, going to have to do the reverse again because the water isn't going to stay drained, but...
Yeah, a little bit of I would argue it's a misroute if he's going to do Swamp Palace. He might not be planning to do Swamp Palace, so that sort of goes depending on what his routing is actually going to be. The Cane of Samaria is that the Bonk Rocks? It is.
Yep.
And Load going into the Village of Outcasts and Skullwood area here. We'll see which side he decides to do first.
I'd imagine it's going to be a little bit before they make their way to... They're probably going to do the south of Village of Outcasts route to Hype Cave, so it'll probably be a little bit before they get their hookshot.
Yeah, which isn't, as mentioned before, isn't really a huge deal. It does very little logically at this point, other than open up the back of Swamp Palace, because we already have the mirror and the hammer as well. And even then, we don't have logical access to Death Mount in the first place, as either way.
Normally would have some good movement utility, but they've got boots already, so...
Yeah. Yeah, hookshot just not really super important all in all right now.
It's just kind of an enemy stunner, so... Speaking of enemy stunning, Load going into Skull Woods here to see what try to find out what the 2 items are if they can.
Yeah.
And getting to the dungeon items right off the start.
Just what you want to see. Which I believe means Mothula has to have an item, like, already.
I'll be completely honest, I've never actually bothered to learn, like, the key logic for this place, just because you really don't need most of the keys.
The biggest thing is that Mothula can't have a small key, so the only things that Mothula can have is the item, or the big key that then leads to an item at this point. Like, that's really the only thing you need to know, is that Mothula cannot have a small key, or have the big key leading to a small key.
Alright, that seems pretty simple then. I'd imagine he could still be carrying the big key instead then, but...
Yeah, he can definitely have the big key, it just can't... The big key is essentially just a fetch quest for an item.
Or you hope an item. It's even worse when you do it and it's nothing important. It's like, oh, okay.
Taking a death there, not going to be a huge issue other than the fact that, of course, he's got 2 fairies. And so not sure whether that was a intentional death warp gone wrong, or whether that was just simply accidentally taking the death in the first place. Docuhorror is going to fill up his bottle and find out what it is.
Is it going to be a fairy? Oh,
nope.
What?
It's a bee.
The anti-fairy.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's already a thing. What am I
was going to say, anti-fairy is already a thing, but I will accept it for the purpose of your comment.
I mean, it takes enemies' health away instead of restoring yours, so functionally, it's close enough. All right, docuhorror going to show us what King Ripoff actually has.
Yep.
Having enough rupees while up here.
And now we're into the Village of Outcasts area. We find the bow. Okie dokie. The bow, of course, not doing a lot logically for us right now, especially if Pod is not bow locked in the first place. Just unlocking the 2 chests on Pod right side right now. As until we have the lamp, it doesn't do anything for Eastern Palace's logic.
But if you know Dark Rooms, then
that's a little bit more relevant.
It's not... You're not going to find something logically out of sequence there, but you are going to... Well, no, you will. If you do find something, it'll be logically out of sequence, but the logic isn't going to require the Dark Rooms, so...
Yeah.
It's just kind of a time-saving measure if you're already in the area, being able to do it, rather than risking having to double-dip them because, I don't know, the lamp is hidden behind an item found in there.
Or in Turtle Rock. Because why wouldn't the lamp be in Turtle Rock?
Yeah, that's mean. Let's not have lamp in Turtle Rock.
Been there, done that enough time. And the way this seed is going, that lamp could be in just about anywhere. Especially if we find the Titan's Mitts in the near future.
That's one of the issues with not finding the lamp early, is once you start building a progression, it's just like, well... Come on, game.
The good old, I hope you're good at Dark Rooms, because this seed requires all of them except for Eastern Palace and Aga 1.
And Eastern Palace is even the easy one.
Yeah. So on we go. docuhorror checking the brewery at the south at the bomb door there. As Load just continues chugging his way through Thieves Town here.
Load choosing to go and attempt to clear thieves while they're here. They've got decent safeties, but this is still... Really, it's blind is probably the biggest issue, but even the enemies in here are pretty rough.
Yeah, not having the powder yet is not having the powder yet, and not having any invulnerability are the two things that are of the biggest concern at the moment.
They could fake powder.
Well, actually, I say that. Of course, we also only have 6 hearts, and grasshoppers do 2 hearts of damage. That's also a problem.
I really don't know why they decided these grasshoppers do more damage than Blind's fireballs.
I think. Well, do Blind's fireballs get affected by mail though?
No, they're not. They're the same types that the traps use.
Oh, takes the hit.
Getting poked by its leg. Well, fairy time.
So that's 2 fairies down, so Load has no more fairies at the moment. Never have runners probably been as happy to see lots of fairies in bottles as a seed like this.
Look at fairy.
Wish we had a bug net now.
This is turning into a seed I saw the other day where like every other drop was full magic refill. It's like, come on, Gabe, we don't need that much.
Yep. We want me to kill everything with the fire rod? Then again, I have seen a seed that had stun prize of full magic pots, so you know.
Oh my god, that's so useful. Alright. Meanwhile, in Blind's basement, we're going to pick up the maiden, and courtesy of having the hammer, if her chest does give us the key... Can it give us the key? That's a good question.
Yes, yes, it can definitely... It's one... It definitely can if it doesn't, but it did. If it doesn't, okay. it would have meant that it locked itself in the big chest.
Yeah, because Blind can't hold the key. The logic assumes that you're going to spend the keys in really bizarre ways and lock yourself, so... Yeah,
Blind... So basically, Blind and the chest in the attic with the grasshoppers and the skylight, those 2 locations cannot have the small key. docuhorror using his second fairy. So we are all out of fairies for the moment. No more fairies.
If they want another one, though, they know where it is.
Yeah, exactly. They know that they can get it.
Alright, 7 heart, green male Blind.
Yeah, hope we can script fairly well here, although we are using some Samaria strats as well, so we're not going to script, but we're going to play it sort of the slightly safer way here of just focusing on dodging while we just let the Cane of Samaria block do the damage to Blind main body. One of the few times where it's actually really nice to have Blind at the bottom of the room. It's much easier to get that block in position while he's at the bottom of the room.
That fight does basically stop hitting yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a fun strat to see. It's a little bit slow, and it can still be dangerous, just depending on how good you are dodging the fireballs and the heads flying around the room, because being bodied by the head still does... That's a bit of a contradictory statement. Still does 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to just go ahead and... It's a very good strat to learn as a newer runner if you're not comfortable with surviving the blind fight. Because, as I said, it allows you to focus on dodging and just putting that block down whenever you get a chance safely to, rather than worrying about trying to hit him with your sword and not knock yourself back into one of the heads or fireballs flying around. Well, we found 10 arrows.
Digging game not worth it today.
No.
So, Load is going to make their way over to Hype Cave, hopefully while they're down here, and get their... I'm curious if they'll see the hook shot and be like, okay, I can do Swamp, and just go in there while they're standing right nearby.
Definitely possible. Being on 7 hearts now, just a little bit more safe, but of course, still not a lot of safety for that forced menu fight, but there's worse things that you could have to do. Fighting Mothula right now would not be a pleasant thing to have to do, that's for sure.
The good news is they don't have the fire rod, so that's not an option.
Exactly.
Instant B's on blind here. Can't actually contribute to any damage, but can make one of Blind's heads bounce away in bizarre ways.
And takes a death. Bombos, and I had forgotten about the Bombos in Hype Cave. That's interesting as well. Puts Ice Palace into logic once we get the Titan's Mitts. Like, this seed is really just sort of... There's a lot of things that we can do in this seed right now. The one thing we can't do is logically get to Death Mountain.
And yet, we have everything we need to clear the entirety of Light World Death Mounted.
Yeah. And even the first Dark World location. Or the last one, whichever way you want to think about Spike Cave.
Spike Cave's a bit of an odd location.
Anyways, in the swamp we go.
I approve of this, just seeing it early. You're already here. It is a case that if you can clear it in go mode, it is significantly faster, but...
When the seed says, here's everything to do it, you just sort of do it.
Especially when you're still missing Lamp, when you don't know if you need Quake, when you're still missing both rods. Silvers is still an ice bind. And we're going to need Flute at some point as well, so there's a lot of items we're looking for.
Nice big key location. Means that we'll likely just get left side first. There's not really a good reason to not do left side first, unless you really want to gamble on the map and compass both being over there. docuhorror going, and we'll see if he picks up that piece of heart. He will decide to go pick up the piece of heart, and I can't blame him for that.
For all the fairies we've gotten, we don't have that many, we don't have too many heart containers yet, so...
No, we are not at all safe this seed yet.
docuhorror opting to jump down here and go up and around. I'm curious what play they're making.
This might be going to Eastern, now that he has the bow.
Or a bit of a circular loop down to Swamp.
Yeah. Might still be going to the pod area. Not quite sure why he didn't just take the portal with him, but that's a minor issue. Yeah, we are going up, so we are going to see some form of either pyramid and catfish, or pod, Eastern, or both. Not getting the hammer dash there, so he's just going to walk forward and smack the pegs down individually.
Alright, Pyramid, what do you have for us?
It has a skull hiding in the short grass. Because of course it does.
Those things are the worst.
Dashing along, minding your own business, suddenly bonk.
You can at least see dead rocks.
Yeah.
You don't get to see those.
And now the pod play, as we grab a wall. Which unfortunately is not the same as dashing. Meanwhile, Load successfully not flooding his key in Swamp Palace. Is going to go on to left side.
Meanwhile, we're probably... Well, not probably, but maybe going to get to see a clear of Eastern and Pod, depending on how comfortable with Darkroom's docu-horror is.
Yeah, we'll definitely see most of the clears. We'll see just how far we go with them. We'll see what everyone's been missing over here. The answer is not a heck of a lot. Half a heart and 10 arrows. Nice bloomerang there. Left side of swamp.
We are looking for a blue item for progression. Just not that blue item.
We're looking for lots of items for progression. Like, let's be serious here.
Yeah,
I'd rather see the yellow one, to be honest.
No, I'm confused as to which one you're referring to.
Titan's mitts.
Oh, that's right. I was like, is it the medallion? I don't know what we need. I completely forgot that was a thing. I don't know why. I just kind of assumed you had Titan's mitts after a certain point.
Yeah, you do get to that point. At least you have those seeds that you have no gloves. I've had seeds that have been no gloves through 50 minutes, so, you know, we're doing much better than that.
Alright, well, let's see what these two dungeons have for us.
Is Pod bow locked? Not yet. Not like it matters. Both players have the bow, but...
Getting in nice and early in the chess game.
docuhorror just gonna go straight to right side. Can't blame him for this. You do want to get that big key before you go to the back anyways, so... Whatever routing you like for this, basically. A little bit of love there. Not finding a heck of a lot, are we?
I always get concerned when enemies knock someone back towards the door because it's like, oh no, they're gonna get pulled back too. No, wait, I don't think they can. The berries being themselves and deciding to start flashing when you go to run past them.
What a dash, though, afterwards.
Oh yeah, nice clean one through the majority of the room.
So Pod will not have been bow locked, with only one small key over here, if any. I think it has to. I don't know if it has to have a small key over here, but it did. So.
It didn't stand by its Pod. It's got a small key everywhere.
We're trying to do super fast strats. I think we just need to make sure we're killing one puff every time here, Load. Menus are hard. Menu not being quite symmetrical, so that the inputs are slightly different. If you need to make sure you're doing this very specific inputs for the swaps here.
Oh, menu boss takes so long.
Well, at least we have boomerangs, because otherwise this boss would be just that much worse right now.
Yeah, that is true. Just having certain item slots filled in the inventory can make this fight significantly easier. If you've got some really weird setup. I've seen some unfortunate menus for this.
And we're going to get Hammer on the final form of Argus as well here. Can't blame him. Although he's got to be really careful here. I wouldn't be standing right next to him again. Don't do it. Whoa, that bounced back.
Just narrowly hitting the waterfall thing. And getting
there we go.
I always love when you kill Argus with a hammer. It makes that little like breaking tile animation.
And we got another heart container at least. Swamp relative bust overall though.
Yeah, that is a little bit unfortunate coming in here and getting like pretty much nothing.
Let's see. Didn't catch anything that docuhorror's gotten out of there.
Well, the dark room was unfortunately just 2 small keys, so
Okay.
nothing fantastic down there.
You're getting something out of this. Big 20.
Does he go for the dark maze?
Not having the lamp or flute yet is really just harshing what we can do right now.
So this room is really dangerous in the dark when you're low on health because these things deal a bunch of damage. Yeah, kind of like that.
Kind of like that. With docuhorror not having any more fairies.
But
The fire rod! Well, the fire rod is quite interesting. Gives us a fire source. Also means that, of course, the lamp is locked before any other fire source. So it won't be in like Hera Basement or in Skull Woods or anything like that.
Yeah, unfortunately taking that death there, but by the looks of it opting to go back in, I feel like they really want to clear this place while they're here.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that he wouldn't take a moment and just go and do Eastern for a bit. That being said, Eastern is a pendant, of course, so a little bit less valuable of a play. He might be going for the straight for Helmasaur at this point.
Yeah, I haven't been counting items, so if there's...
But he is not. As he hits the switch, then realizes that he does not actually want to go for Helmasaur.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's already picked up the map and compass, so depending on what items could be left, it might have been worthwhile, but... Well, no, there's still three item locations anyways, and he has already got the map, or doesn't have the compass yet, so...
Yeah. Just gonna ether and freeze all of them.
Hey, it works!
It does.
Not only that, it gives you another marker for where you're moving.
Yep. That one not being on screen, though, is still firing fire at us.
It's okay.
Are we ethering again?
Soon do.
We did ether again, okay. And we have another chest. And it is...
The compass.
The compass.
So we've got one more from the big chest, and then we've got one more from Helmasaur King. That's not the bombs. Don't hit that button.
Thought he'd already put the bomb down. Realized that he hadn't belatedly there. Big 20.
So, if he does go for Helmasaur King, which it looks like he is, we're going to have the dreaded Dark Turtle room. But, courtesy of the fire rod, we can light the torch in the in there.
Yeah, it won't be an awful room to have to deal with, at least. Doing it completely blind is already a pain. Doing it in green mail with 8 hearts is... I don't even want to know. Basically just walk around smacking with the hammer, hoping for the best.
And unfortunately, that usually doesn't work very well when you've got so low defenses.
Yep. All right. Some mimic kills. Off we go.
And now we stopped going for a little bit.
Yep, now we just get to sit and wait and watch the wall move back. And nicely done.
Nice first dark room. Now for the corridor of one turtles. One turtles. Turtles? That's not plural.
One turtles.
One
Get out your
turtles.
fire rod. Do it. Do it, Docu. Get out the fire rod. Although I guess the problem is that you're gonna miss. Oh, that's not good.
Unfortunately, getting pushed around by the turtles. The turtles will block.
Well, I commend him for trying to do this completely blind. I'm not sure I would have bothered with the potion, fortunately. So as I said, this turns into walk around, keep hammering, and hope that you kill some turtles before they kill you. Yeah.
Nope, unfortunately. Yeah, that room is really, really hard, and you have to be pretty quick and accurate with your timing to actually light the torch. Otherwise, one of the turtles gets in the way, and once they get in the way, they'll just kind of cluster around you. You can't light anything on fire, and you die.
Yeah. So both players going into Eastern Palace at basically the same time now.
Also with its own kind of challenging dark room made easier by the fire rod. Unfortunately, Load didn't do the dark maze, so doesn't have the fire rod, and docuhorror currently has no magic.
So yeah, not a lot of that going on right now.
If docuhorror does get a magic drop somewhere in here, though, they'll be able to light the back dark room and go through it pretty easily. All things can. Oh wow!
And there's the flute.
Okay, they're concerned now, even though they're picking it up like seconds apart. They're probably thinking, "Oh no, I could have walked in here like right as soon as I got anything."
Yeah, but if anyone's been watching this tournament, pretty much everyone should know when you have Dark World access this early, you're not dipping Pendant Eastern Palace anytime soon. This is right about exactly when most players are going to be dipping Eastern Palace for the first time when you get such early Dark World access. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes earlier, maybe.
Wow, convenient big key there.
Yeah.
I believe we're at 2 items out of Eastern. So it kind of hinges on what this last one is. Was there... Well, the problem is, being green pendant, they're probably going to make an attempt to clear it while they're here, regardless.
Well, not sure about Load, of course, because Load didn't do the dark rooms in the previous one. So there's a chance he'll do this dark room, because this dark room is fairly straightforward. One of the first dark rooms that most runners learn. Both runners have the key. Load is through the key door, off to the next room. docuhorror following close behind.
Alright, let's see what this last chest has.
It is the compass, because of course it is.
Well, Load choosing to save and quit out of here.
And unsurprisingly, docuhorror is likely going to go for it. He probably should pick up both these pots to get the hearts. There we go. Although, granted, you could have also just... Oh, there it is! Magic drop on the last possible enemy. Will he get fairies here? He will.
Unfortunately, still no bug net, so no keeping them, but might as well go in here with full health.
Yeah, not as big an issue since he got enough for that fire rod shot, assuming he's going to do it, which he is. Uh-oh.
Even without the fire rod shot, this room can still be done just by, yeah.
And there we go.
Sticking an arrow in it.
Well executed. Successfully picked up the pot. Oh, right, I forgot there's a magic there, too.
Not quite as useful when it's on the other side of the dark room, though.
No, but you can avoid activating the Igors while you go around and pick that up if you really needed it.
Yeah.
Well, fetch quest, fetch quest.
Come on, how did you turn a mushroom into a shovel?
Lots of magic.
Okay, I guess we can go with that.
And Stelphos are hard to hit.
Alright, is that... Yep, load going up to Death Mountain, going to pick up the old man in the dark.
Can't blame him. Not too hard a dark room. Many people are very used to doing this from the back, as you often get the flute before you're doing the dark room.
It's got pretty simple movement path in it as well, so it's actually a pretty fun one to do and to begin learning dark rooms with.
And a cape.
I don't think we've seen Bumper Cave yet, but... Oh, hey, look, there's Titans. It's on Death Mountain.
There's the Titans mitts. That yellow item I was looking for. Perfect place for them, too. Just means that we get to full clear all of Death Mountain all at once.
So, Doc, you're not going to head back into Pod without the lamp by the looks of it, but going to come over here and turn in the green pendant to Shahabadu for a big 20.
Yeah, Sahasrahla just giving us 20. So, of course, our runners having a lot of the same items except for all these red ones, which they seem to have different ones of.
Yeah, one has the red cane, the other's got the cape and the fire rod.
Yeah.
Dark, you going back in.
Probably realizing that he wants to do Hera. Oh, Doku, sorry, Doku going back in, yeah. Maybe he was just hoping that that would be the lamp real quick, I don't know. He's got lots of magic, so lots of magic, full health. Down to only 8 arrows, but that's not likely a huge issue, although if he does want to use them to kill Helmasaur, that could be a bit of an issue.
Yeah, probably gonna opt to pick up the two sets in here with the mimics.
You're already on the bow.
Never mind. So if you do find yourself low on arrows at this point, there is, I believe, 10 between the two pots in that room for a decent bit of a pickup.
I believe that's accurate. Those ones both have arrows, whereas the first one is an arrow in the heart,
which is far less convenient.
Compass in Hera. We do have the small key in Hera, so we're not getting... No small keys locking themselves right now. There we go. We can see now.
Just running straight up to the torch this time to make sure.
A little bit easier to tell where you are in a non-scrolling room as well, which is one of the little advantages there. Gonna light another torch just to make sure he doesn't suddenly lose light, which he would have right at the end.
Going to have to be very, very careful in the Helmasaur fight.
Yeah, it doesn't have any safeties left, I don't believe. Which also makes this a little bit of a problem, because this has a whole bunch of Terrapins in here. Oh, he does have another red potion.
Alright, here we go.
Bug net on Moldorm.
To replenish all of those fairies.
Yeah, need to catch fairies now, guys. This is the seed of fairies. LoaDPille just bonking into the peg at the end of the bridge there. You have no more arrows, Docu. You need to do something else. Yep. That forehead jewel is not an easy thing to get with the hammer.
I think there's very much that's easy to hit with the hammer.
No, but that especially because of how deep it is into Helmasaur's actual hitbox is near impossible. Of course, top NMG runners do it all the time, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a really difficult hit.
Plays it safe though and gets Helmasaur down, meaning with both Eastern and Pod clear, docuhorror doesn't have to come back over here at all.
Gets 1 rupee for his trouble.
But more importantly, a bigger bluer crystal.
Yes. Yes, the bigger bluer crystal that's not 5 rupees. Which is also a blue crystal.
That is true, isn't it? Yeah, not 5 rupees. I mean, given how many of these things we collect over a day, you can they're probably worth about 5 rupees, but...
And this bomb's gonna kill 2 of the Moldorms, at least.
Not quite what was intended, but works all the same.
Yep. Replenishes some bombs there. What else do we have in Paradox Cave? We have 20 rupees. We have that blue cane that docuhorror is looking for.
Now we just need docuhorror to find the ice rod before Load starts picking them up. One can have both rods, the other can have both canes.
Right, yeah, yeah. And does Load get the lamp just to even out the red items as well? Is that how this works?
I'd say sure, but I think they both want the lamp. While docuhorror has shown off his ability to do the dark rooms, nobody wants to do Meyer dark room.
Come on, Meyer dark room's not that bad. I did it my first time without any assistance. Doesn't mean I like doing it, but hey!
How much time did that take?
First try.
Okay.
I'm crazy. I just do these things.
I mean, if you're actually familiar with the room, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's really not awful. It's just getting that Canis Mario block in the right spot. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right,
we ruined the Swag Duck anthem for everyone.
Oh no, not the Swag Duck anthem. Alright, where is... So is Docu going to take a trip into Thieves Town now and...
Yeah, might go ahead and try to finish off Blind now. May also just be going for Mothula as well. Might be a little bit risky to do that. He's had a little bit of problem with a couple of these early on bosses, but it's a play that could also very well pay out if he makes it work.
He also restocked on potions, though, so...
True. Having 2 blue potions does make that a much simpler if you're pretty good at dodging those spikes. But we are going Thieves Town first.
So it looks like aside from the Titans, Death Mountain isn't actually giving us all that much. Like, Titans mids are pretty big, but for so many item locations, picking up Blue Cane as like the only other item.
Yeah. Yeah, really not giving it, not being the most fun. Also mean that Lamp might still not be flute locked, although it very well could be in the Mire area as well, or could be in Turtle Rock, who knows.
Could be in Spike Cave here.
Yep. Dipping Turtle Rock actually not an awful idea right now, by virtue of the fact that it would lock loadout very quickly. That being said, though, the fact that we know that Fire Rod's not there means it's much less likely to have something useful in the before it locks us out.
If Lamp is in Turtle Rock. Oh no, yeah, actually, it would have to be the key in the first chest for them to actually continue further in, because the right side is Fire Rod locked. Yeah.
And that's what sort of what I'm saying is because we know we have the Fire Rod access already, it's not like it would need to give us the ability to continue on. Even if there is something good in there.
Alright, I'll reiterate that statement then. If the lamp is in the first chest of Turtle Rock, I'm telling the runners to blame you.
I'm okay with that. Also, if it's in the vanilla big key chest, that's also definitely my fault, because that's apparently just my troll spot of the tournament so far. Big chest or big key chest, both of those have been very trolly for me so far. It's quite some sound we're getting here. There we go.
Opting to cape through that room. If you move the correct route, you can actually get through that room quite simply. But it's you have to be good at walking around the beetles in a specific way. Otherwise, they'll just bump into you and throw you off the side, or throw you into the bumper and then off the side.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of luck myself in that room, unfortunately. But although, granted, with boots, you can also just sort of dash through it as well. Well, Bombos from Mire as well, so lots of Bombos requirement in this seed. Hey, Powder! Now we can get more fairies!
Doc, you're going to have to be careful here, taking quite a few hits from Gibdos, and they do...
Yeah.
Opening the chest with his back.
Very impressive. And on we go.
So, interestingly, Load can't actually finish Desert Palace, but it is a pendant anyway, so they probably don't want to unless Landmolz is holding an item.
Well, be careful about what you say. The lamp could be in here, too.
I mean, the lamp could be in here, yes. The Fire Rod can't be in here.
But in terms of... But yeah, so right now we have no fire to be able to complete the dungeon. If the lamp happens to be here, then can finish the dungeon. And to be fair, the lamp could be here, because the lamp has to be before any dark room. Or the lamp had... Well, I think you know what I'm trying to say. The Fire Rod is lamp locked. That's what I'm trying to say.
Ugh. Gibdo deciding to unstun between throws of the boomerang.
Yep. Save and continue, Doc. You're fine.
Nice half magic in Desert.
We'll take that.
Docu still hasn't actually picked up any more arrows.
that's always a bit of an issue on occasion. Docu not having fun with this room.
Gibdos do a lot of damage, and having to get the berries out of the way, plus the hand trying to grab you, this room just sucks.
Although not killing the berries means the hand doesn't spawn, which is always a nice thing if the berries just cooperate a little bit.
On the other hand, when they don't cooperate, they can be worse than the hand.
Yep.
So we got the second item out of Desert, and it is the horribly inappropriate ice rod. I guess they need to keep the drinks in here cool somehow, but...
Yep. So somehow our runners still don't have the same magical items at all. Like, this is impressive.
No, they don't.
How separately our magic items are being obtained right now.
If we fit their item grids together, we'd only be missing, like, Lamp and Quake. For the important items.
Yeah. What are we looking for, docu-horror?
I think they're just shy of magic to fire the fire rod.
I wonder how, because considering I thought did he use the... Oh, right, he was using the cape. Never mind, that makes sense.
Going to opt to dig for it instead of popping the blue potion. Never mind.
Changed his mind.
As soon as I say something, of course.
Probably for the better in the long run here anyways. Meanwhile, Hammer Peg Cave, not really giving us too much here. Big 20 in there.
This lamp is really hiding this.
Let's see if we have lampsmiths. Nope, we have money forgers. Or the mint. I'm not sure whether they're legitimate or not.
I mean, you can spend it, so legitimate enough, I guess. That's how that works, right? All right. Anyways,
we're not going to get into the discussion on currencies in this stream.
Batman giving us nothing useful. Opting to kill the Gibdos in this room makes sense to me because, as always, they're terrible.
Yeah, a little bit more dangerous. It probably would have been a better play to pull out Bombos and use only a quarter of your magic bar to kill all 4 of them.
Yeah, it would have allowed saving much more magic for the moth fight itself. Yeah. Because he's going to have to do the basically always fun either hammer or fighter sword moth. Only a couple shots with. Meanwhile, Load contending with some murder dactyls and then continuing on along the North Dark World route.
Yeah, pterodactyls are not the most fun thing.
Is that what those things are actually called? I have no idea what they're
No, I like it though because it's very punny.
I can approve of that.
This fight is not going to get any easier for docu-horror from here on out. Gotta be very careful. Yeah, gonna go ahead and pop the blue potion now.
Yep. Also conveniently worth a full refill on magic.
Yeah. Because you don't want to take that hit from Moth and just die from 2 hearts. And you want Fire Sword or... Woo! Silvers!
Ah, if only he had arrows.
Now, the question is... Oh no, never mind. I was about to say, is the lamp in Pyramid Fairy? No, it's not. It is definitely not in Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, because Fire Rod is necessary to actually get into Skullwoods. But Pyramid Fairy could have something else for us. Actually,
Yes.
what could Pyramid Fairy have for us?
I'm not actually sure. We might actually... Where are we on Go mode? Are we actually in no mode at the moment?
For the purposes of ignoring the lamp and just doing dark rooms, yeah, we are.
And we're short a sword.
Well, yeah, but no one counts swords. We all know GT has at least one in it. Until that time it doesn't.
You hope. I was about to say, did you not see that? Did you not hear about the seed that we did Aga 1 after Ganon's Tower for a sword?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, what are the odds of that happening again?
Well, there's not a sword in Lumberjack Cave, pretty low.
So it looks like Load is going to actually take this opportunity to go and check Zora, which they were not able to do earlier due to being short on. Let me finish that sentence with the correct word: rupees.
Yeah. King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge being two very interesting locations we're going to see in the very near future here. Of course, docuhorror finally starting to mix up our magic items between the runners.
Finally getting a bit more overlap after like 45 minutes.
Won't be too worried about seeing that there because the King of Samaria not providing a lot of logical, aside from the trouble that he had in that room in Skull Woods, not a huge deal. Where are we going, Load? Trying to think where you're going right now. Are you doing this north check as well? So you can't do any more Skull Woods yet.
Could be doing the purple chest cycle.
I thought he did the... Oh, maybe... Oh, he did the smith. Did he not take the purple chest?
I don't think so. Let's find out.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. He must not have taken the purple chest. Fair enough.
Fortunately, has the opportunity to just use the flute, or we're going to walk around. Because I thought they already did South Dark World.
Yeah, they have. So we'll see exactly what play he's trying to make here. Maybe it was only Docu that did this. Unfortunately, King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge is not paying off much here. That being said, aside from the lamp, we are in a no mode at the moment, so...
Oh, Load's gonna check shovel while down here.
Okay. Fair enough.
Get more money for it.
And...
The lamp's got to be around here soon. We're running out of places the lamp can actually be.
Bomb upgrade there, so that's not it. So Ice Palace is in Logic. Because we do have, I don't think Bombos... Yeah, Bombos was in Hype Cave. So yes, Ice Palace is definitely in Logic. We've already cleared out Desert Palace. We've already cleared out Pod.
Can be first chest of Turtle Rock.
It could be Misery Mire. The non-fire location of Misery Mire anyways.
Well, it looks like Load is going to take this opportunity to go look in Pendant Ice Palace.
Depending on how docuhorror routes for the next little bit, that could cost him a little bit. It will be interesting if when one of the players decides to make the Mire play, as mentioned before, Mire... Didn't we already find out this was a B?
Yeah, it's probably, yeah.
Not quite sure exactly why we're going for more bees, but we'll I guess we have now. But yeah, so we definitely have some ability to check. Both Turtle Rock and Mire are both at least a couple locations each, or well, at least one for Turtle Rock and I don't actually know how many locations in Mire. 1, 2, 3, 4 with the big key.
Yeah, there's a bunch of locations in Mire.
I think it's 4 with the big key without any fire source.
So docuhorror are going to flute up to Death Mountain here and finally get their Titan's Mitts. Or get deadrocked. That's
same difference. He should probably also rescue the old man if he, because I don't think he's done so, and if he has, he would have probably been better off just saving and quitting at that point and loading in the mountain cave.
I think at this point he's going on the basis that the old man isn't going to have anything because the item he's primarily looking for. He still does need the ice rod, but the fact that the item he's primarily looking for is the lamp, I think he's just considering that the old man is probably not going to have it. It's one item location.
Well done, Load. I thought that might have been too low, but I also haven't done that bomb jump lineup with the fighter sword very often.
I'll admit I never bothered learning that one with the sword just because the shadow is more consistent across. You always have a shadow. You don't always have a sword.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not entirely true, but... So Docu's probably going to, 1, get his Titan's Mitts up here, and 2, take the opportunity to clear Hera.
Well, and lots of Death Mountain.
Well, yeah, lots of Death Mountain in general, but it will be... I was going mostly for another crystal for docuhorror up here, giving him the lead.
Yeah, for the time being, yeah.
Yeah, crystal lead, not actual item lead, though, because Load has cleared a lot more of the places that, you need Titans to get to. Hey, but there's Quake.
That's not really going to play a lot of effect, though, given that the Ice Rod was up here, wasn't it? Where was Ice Rod?
Desert.
Oh, it was desert, okay. I'm like, it wasn't up here. There was nothing up here except for the other blue magic item that Docu is sort of looking for.
Which, fortunately, Titan Mitts will lead to the Ice Rod, so... Docuhorror needing to watch their health again, down to a single heart.
Yeah, still a little dangerous in this seed overall. We're still not... Docu's still only on 8 hearts? An hour 20 into the seed. 8 hearts in green mail.
I guess a lot of them were hiding behind the Titan's Mitts.
I guess so. I can't remember how much was in Swamp either.
I'm actually curious about that. If Docuhorror does go to Desert first, picks up the Ice Rod and finds the lamp, they're going to get to Go Mode Swamp.
Yeah, very potentially. Depending on how much he wants to find the lamp.
It basically comes down to the ability to do the Turtle Rock track and the Mire Dark Room for that.
And to be fair, for most runners, the Turtle Rock Dark Room is actually one of the most straightforward Dark Room. There's a Master Sword.
Blue Sword in the Blue Dungeon. What?
That must have been all 3 items, too. I was not at all keeping track of what's going on in Unload side, unfortunately.
Well, they have. They're confident that's the last thing they're going to get out of there. So.
Yep. And here comes the mire area.
Doc, you finally getting arrows.
And with Silver's 5 arrows is quite a few arrows.
You can kill most of Vitreous with that.
So we'll see if we'll get to see if either the lamp is in here or if Load is comfortable enough doing this dark room. I expect the answer is probably not, given his given the fact that he hasn't dived any other dark rooms at this time. But we will see here very shortly.
There are increasingly good odds that it's in here, as we're just simply running out of locations it could be at.
Yeah, exactly. There is a non-insignificant chance that it is in here. But there's also a not insignificant chance that it could be anywhere in Turtle Rock that's not that right side first room.
Docu-horror taking the middle knockdown from Troll Dorm, so...
Yeah, fallen 2 floors. Fortunately, though docu-horror, of course, has been having not the best time with not dying in this seed. The fact that he has been willing to do the dark rooms does have him a little bit of a dungeon lead, at least, as we've been sort of talking about here. While I would give, of course, Load sort of the overall advantage in terms of the fact that he's just cleared more. Ooh, another bump off. That one at least knocked down the middle.
Yeah, both runners have their advantages at the moment. A big one definitely being Load relying on getting the lamp to go through the dark rooms, whereas docu-horror's just been doing it. Unfortunately, Troll Dorm living up
not
to his
playing
name.
Nice.
There's
There
a lamp.
it is.
All the rage slashes.
So Load very close to go mode. He will be opening chests for a little while, but he will be in go mode in the not very distant future. As I don't see him not immediately going to pod after he's finished Mire.
Yeah, now with the lamp, they can finish clearing it, and they're going to find their fire rod and just go straight into go mode. So all of a sudden, Load has a pretty considerable advantage here.
Yeah. See exactly how docu-horror routes now that he's finished Tower of Hera, although the fact that he's going to finish all of Death Mountain, most likely, is going to be a pretty big time sink by itself. And cutscene time.
If Docu does choose to immediately go over to the Mire Desert area from here, though...
Definitely still in the race at the moment. It's just that Load does have a nice advantage, partially because of his Ice Palace dip to get the Master Sword.
Yeah, Docu is still going to be looking for another sword. So he won't be in true go mode once picking up the ice rod, and the lamp, but they're both in the same area, so.
Now, how soon he checks for the ice rod is a different question, because it is in a pendant. That being said, he was also the one that did completely clear Eastern Palace in the first place, so not showing much of a resilience to checking pendant dungeons, so we'll see exactly, once again, how everything does play out here.
Desert's also a pretty quick check, all things considered.
Yeah. Especially with the items not being overly silly locations in Desert this seed. Nice heart container. Docu also getting a refill from a piece of heart there at the same time. Load, where are you going? Or was that maybe that was an accident? Not exactly sure.
It'll still get them back to the room for accessing.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. I'm just like, why did we do this? We are fine. We are 100% fine. Load is on his way to Vitreous. Everything is fine. Don't think you needed the magic refill, but that's okay, Load. That's not gonna work, docuhorror. I don't think. Nope.
I mean, sometimes just having full magic is nice. Load doesn't have silvers, so this isn't going to be a walk in and kill Vitreous really quickly type fight. And with Master Sword, it still takes a considerable number of hits.
That is true. He might choose to use arrows for a little while still. 50 arrows being a very considerable number. Depends on what sort of strategies he is comfortable with. Looks like we're seeing. Oh no, wait. He needs the bombs for this. I'm silly. I'm like, we're seeing bomb strats. It's like, no, we just need to blow up the wall.
I mean, we might see bomb strats anyways, but
we might see bomb strats, but that him switching to bombs meant nothing in regards to that.
docuhorror using Cane of Brian doesn't want to put up with dead rocks.
I'm not sure how well that defends from dead rocks, but it didn't hurt.
I think they'll still block you, but...
So we're going to get dash strats, or are we going to get spin strats that don't work? We're just going to get slash
leg
strats.
All
Good
of
old
the
slash strats. Not the most interesting of strategies, but it gets the job done, and that's all that really matters. Pull out your bow, please. Please?
Then you conserve their arrows, don't worry.
Yeah, just conserve all the arrows.
I mean, Load's actually got pretty good timing here for getting most of the swings, and they kind of lost their rhythm, but they were getting hits out pretty quickly.
Yep. Well, it's down. Thank you for the compass.
Bow kills Vitreous in
8.
Yeah.
8 arrows.
Much faster for killing Vitreous.
And they can be fired off real rapid fire. Eight shots on bow probably take you about 5 seconds to rattle off. If that. Okay, Docky, what's your play? You're going to get the heart container. I don't mind that. Gonna just check his floor real quick. The ether medallion.
Low on hit points, so you don't want to accidentally fall in there a couple of times.
Yeah. All you need to know is it's basically just the same route you would take in the Wizrobe room after Lenmola's too, except reversed.
I'll admit, I'm a little bit confused. He can do dark rooms, but he can't do invisible floors.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you only have to go to floating islands so often, but yeah, it's not an overly difficult invisible floor.
It's definitely a case of if you haven't practiced it, it's probably better, especially on 2 hearts, to just pull out the ether and check. So it's not an issue that he did it. It's just a little bit of an oddity, given that he went through dark pod entirely.
And so, as we said, load about 10 seconds from go mode here. Not even 10 seconds. Closer to... It was only 5 seconds. There it is.
We were 1 sentence from go mode.
We were 1 sentence from go mode, yeah. Pretty much. Gonna keep checking. Don't blame him. No silvers, no tempered. You sort of want to keep going for a little bit there.
Yeah, both are fantastic items for improving the fight with Ganon. Master Sword Silverless is...
Now, we know he will get silvers, but he doesn't know that yet. As silvers were on Mothula, so definitely getting silvers.
What are silvers on?
I was pretty sure they were on Moth. Yeah, Cape was on Armos Knights, yeah.
Okay.
Chat confusing everyone. It's okay, chat. We're cool.
I mean, I was confused to begin with. As soon as I started thinking, where were the silvers? I thought they were on Helmasaur.
No, Mothula had the goods.
I mean, makes up for, being a terrible boss.
Yeah. Yeah, Mothula... Well, to be fair, Mothula's room is the real boss. You ever seen Randomizer? Mothula's the easiest boss in the world.
Okay, I guess that's fair. I believe in Randomizer, any of the bosses being put in that room is also basically a free fight.
Sort of like the Moldor Marina. The Moldor Marina is awful on so many bosses.
I remember seeing a land Wallace fight up there. That was strange. It didn't work very well.
Anyways, load onto Helmasaur very quickly. Yeah, you don't need that full magic refill. You're not going to use any magic on this fight, and you're at full magic, and you're going to get a magic refill after the fight.
I'm going to laugh when they pull out, like, blue cane strats just to slash him in the face a bunch.
Could be a thing. I'm not totally against that. Of course, just shoot some arrows.
Bow's a pretty good weapon. The hitbox is a little bit small, but plenty of damage.
Just slash him. Okay, we got it. I was about to say, if you can get that one time where you can line up like 4 or 5 arrows in a row and you have Master, you're probably better off just slashing from then on, because the arrows in the Master Sword both take 8 to take down a Helmasaur, I believe. I think that's right. I think so. Interchanging them isn't really a huge deal. Docu, of course, on the Smith's quest here. Not going to net him a whole heck of a lot, but one item out of his way.
Unfortunately, this does give Load considerable advantage here. Starting to push into the territory of, being an out-and-out lead. They're, for all intents and purposes, in go mode. They're going to get their silvers off of Mothula. And after that, they're just going to head straight up to Turtle Rock and get to head over to GT from there. So, whereas
Docu is at least making the play now, but is basically 2 dungeons behind at this point. Maybe just 1 dungeon behind. So somewhere in that range. Swamp Palace and Misery Mire versus back of Skull Woods. And then, of course, the Desert Palace check to actually get the Ice Rod to get him into go mode. Not to mention the sword.
Which we don't know where two of them are, because the other one we know where it is Ice Palace. And at the current rate, docuhorror probably won't ever go in there unless he opts not to take a look at Desert.
No, but we have seen most other locations, which does make it very likely that we will encounter more sword upgrades through the rest of the seed.
Oh, there's still plenty of opportunities to find them, yeah. Even GT itself. But
Although, at the same time, it's fully possible they're both on tablets, and we will not see them in that case, almost definitely. If we find a book in Turtle Rock, you might see an Ether tablet check. Maybe. But that would be it.
Yeah. The problem with the distribution as well, like further though, is it's going to keep Load with that sword advantage.
Because Load is going to have a sword advantage regardless.
Yep. If we get another sword in the way, then it's just a case of, oh, look, now it's Master Sword versus Tempered.
Yeah. But at least Master Sword can kill Gain, and Fighter Sword cannot. Where are we going, Docu? Just checking the ledge item. Looks like it. Are we just fluting back here? Hopefully the answer is yes. The answer is yes.
Quick Moss kill for Load. So
Half Magic. Half Magic definitely helping out there. There's our silvers.
Docu going into Desert, probably going to pick up his Ice Rod here, and that will place him in almost go mode.
Yeah, in sword mode.
Still missing the lamp from Meyer as well, so depending on whether he feels like counting that as a go mode item or not.
And it'll put him into enough go mode that it's everything that you need to know about go mode as well, just with us knowing where everything else is. Because I expect he's going to be checking Meyer here as well. Not a great reason to skip it, given what we already know.
That Beamos doesn't want to let him leave the room. So Load is getting a bundle of potions. I'll not make a pun there. And making their way up to T-Rock for their final dungeon.
Yep. We'll be, with the half magic, at least Trinix won't be quite so scary a fight. Master Sword Trinix can be a little... Master Sword Trinix with regular magic can be a little iffy without some magic refills. But the half magic makes it pretty safe. Has Load opened the front door of Turtle Rock already, or is this just going to be slower?
I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, I don't know either. If he has not opened the front door, this is just a longer way up the mountain to then have to mirror and go up to the Turtle Rock portal anyways. But I do not remember if he opened it the first time he was up here.
Alright, Dark, getting their Ice Rod. By the looks of it, probably going to head into Meyer.
Yes, he is. Chat's saying he opened TR, so everything's fine. There we go. Look at that nice open door for us to walk into. That's not the right cane. There we go. We're good now. And we'll see what kind of fun we'll have in Turtle Rock today.
Unfortunately, Turtle Rock is usually still basically a full clear even in go mode.
Yeah, it depends on Depends on how much of Laser Bridge we need to do. So we could have gotten one item in here if we'd done it earlier. Be interesting to see if the Chain Chomp room has a small key as well, because that opens up a lot of the... That opens up a couple more locations in the dungeon. Mimic Cave being the notable one, actually, which isn't even technically part of the dungeon.
Not technically, but it might as well be.
Yeah. And... nice cane dash. For a small key and another small key. So I'm going to go with there's probably not a small key in the Chain Chomp chest. Although there could be. And if there is, that's just a ridiculous set of rando fill.
Just gonna get all the small keys at the start of the dungeon.
Yeah. Just go, no, you were never going to need Laser Bridge. That being said, if there was a small key in there, that doesn't mean that we were... That Big Chest and Crystal Roller Room were both available as well. Which could have sent us on quite the wild goose chase, potentially. But it's the big key in there. Oh my god.
We're just getting all the keys for this dungeon.
You could almost skip the jailbreak, but unfortunately still not quite worth skipping it, I don't think.
docuhorror picking up their lamp now.
Going into official, well, sword mode. Still not real go mode.
Yep, he's going to continue clearing... Oh, he doesn't have the big key yet. It's not even a Godmire. Come on, game.
And we're going to get bunny beamed. Now we are a dark bunny. And off we go. We don't need to check any other locations in here. We can go straight through. One of the few times you can actually skip the big chest with no worries whatsoever.
I'm curious if they'll opt to grab it just on the basis of, you know, Tempered Sword, though.
Looks like we're going to go there, whether that's because not quite as sure about the logic, or whether that's because of, as you said, just sort of checking items because. Not sure.
In either case, it's a good safety. It's not too big of a detour, and if it is a Tempered Sword, that's basically enough to completely make up the time that this takes, so. But it's a map.
But it's a map, yeah. And I imagine there's a good chance we'll see Crystal Roller Room checked as well. Big 50. docuhorror gonna try to powder up some extra health here. There we go.
Yeah, unfortunately discovering that the Wizrobes hit quite hard. 4 hearts hard, to be specific.
Hopefully he knows about the magic refill on the left here. He does. And here goes Load. Should likely not be checking Laser Bridge, but once again, if he does want to find a sword, but he's not going to.
No, that one's too long a check. We can't do that one.
No.
To be completely fair with the magic burn and the time it takes, even with the blue cane, it's understandable not wanting to go down and do that extra area.
Yeah, it's either way, because it actually is 4 really fast checks overall. But of course, if we're comfortable with Master Swords with silvers, it won't be a huge deal.
Yeah, and there's still plenty of opportunity possibly to get a tempered sword in GT as well.
Yeah.
Opting to do hammer on Trinex.
Can't blame him. Hammer strat's not all that difficult. Just difficult to get the third hit in which would be the most optimal strat. But this looks like it's going to be very effectively done. Until the blue head starts juking us like mad. I don't know how that didn't hit. There we go.
The blue head is a master dodgeball player.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. I expect there's a decent chance that we will see some hammer strats here after the initial sort of go for the double spin. No, it sounds like we're just slashing. Oh, we did get a hammer hit. Unfortunately, lagging a little bit on our end.
Opting to take the heal because of a considerable amount of damage. Meanwhile, docuhorror has basically just walked into Vitreous, said, I've got arrows and silvers, so you can just fall down now.
Yep. With that, of course, we are going to start everyone's favorite game here. We are going to try to figure out where the big key is in Ganon's Tower. It can be in one of 22 locations. We'll be measuring, of course, by how Load routes this out in the tower. You have any favorite locations there, Void?
Basically just anywhere early. I like to see quick GTs because you get to the end of the game, you've got all your items. You just want to see a lot of really good execution in very quick succession and not a bunch of running around looking for one last thing.
As you say that, and on the seed where we want to find a sword in Ganon's Tower.
I mean, look, it's a trolley option. Come on.
When the troll is the #1 big key.
Look. Master Sword Ganon is execution, technically, so...
You're not wrong.
My point stands.
Anyways. Docky, why are we going to Ice Palace, or are we just going for another fairy?
You want that bottle.
Please tell me we're not going to Ice Palace.
We stopped the guessing game, right?
Oh, I should probably do that. There, it's stopped.
Going to pick up... No, why are we killing Bob for a piece of heart?
Because we're in Blue Mail and... Well, okay, we have 14 hearts. That's actually plenty. Although we are on Master Sword, so every scrap of health we get is going to help.
Hey, look, there's a tempered.
There it is.
Big key #1, you could have done it. Alright, so for Load, the Ganon fight is going to be very, very simple at this point.
Yeah, shouldn't be too much issues.
Has a couple blue potions, I believe. Hey, look, there's a big key too.
There it is. My favorite location, #8.
Tempered sword, silver arrows, couple blue potions. Has the blue cane if they don't mind legging their way through phase 2, which I'd rather leg my way through phase 2 than die to it, so.
Yeah, and that's definitely true. And congratulations to Das Kunin for winning the guessing game on this fabulous night. Hopefully not butchering the name.
Meanwhile, Load is beginning the ascent up GT, getting to the 2 Gorias there, and about to start the gauntlet once they get across the giant bridge of cannonballs.
Yeah. And just gonna do the jump off the bridge and dash across the bridge strat.
It's a pretty good method.
It's pretty good, yeah. Docu still, of course, checking locations, trying to find a sword. Unfortunately, not gonna find one in here. I have a feeling he'll probably not do left side. It's just not enough value when you're in sword mode.
Yeah, I can easily see him just skipping it at this point. We're still having to go through Turtle Rock, which is virtually unchanged in the Go mode version of it, and
yeah,
GT itself. There's just too many item locations after Swamp to bother going into the left side.
And we know he's going to get at least Master Sword. If there is a sword on Laser Bridge, or on right side Gamus Tap, did we get a key on right side? On the first two chests? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know one thing was a piece of heart, but
if we did get a key and we decided to do a right side gamble, that could affect a little bit. As of course that would just even up the swords, but at this point Load just has too much of a lead. I don't think we're going to see any comebacks without a disaster occurring. Especially with... Do you have any fairies? Yes, he does, because he just picked one up off Hylia Island.
You got the island fairy.
Got the island fairy. Oh, we're not going to find out this seed if we have all fairy bottles. Most likely. We might. But most likely not.
We can hope that Load for whatever reason decides to check these chests just in case of red armor or red mail.
Or butter sword or whatever.
Opting not to check those two, so I'm pretty sure the Load is just going to run straight to Agnum 2. Not getting bothered. They don't care that much about the butter sword or red mail.
Might open Moldorm's final possessions, depending on a couple just because it's sort of right there, but most likely just gonna go straight through. More relying on docuhorror to show us if there's another bottle.
Killing Moldorm 2 very quickly.
Yep. A dash and a spin will do it. Well, that's not an awful thing to see. Probably not necessary, but if you're going to open the final chest, that's not a bad item to see.
What is going on with the spikes there? Load just got launched into the middle of them.
It happens on occasion. Bumpers will launch you. Nice double. Would have been a real hard triple to set up in that fashion. Another nice double.
Oh,
ooh, the blue ball. This is not the greatest setup either. If he fires another blue ball or gets knocked by the other balls. This one should be fine, most likely. There we go.
Yep.
There we go.
Meanwhile, we've got docuhorror doing menu boss, unfortunately.
Yeah, and getting a little trolled by menu boss.
Yeah.
Trying to be a little too efficient, and it's costing him more than it's worth.
Has another fairy, though.
He has another fairy. How many fairies can we use this seed? Very, very true statement, Gannon. If we're not meant to have light, if we're not meant to have midnight snacks, why is there a light in the fridge?
I agree with this statement.
Can we fit up another double here? Nah, didn't get the double spin. Darn. Was that good enough to go through? It was not. But not really going to matter. Just needs to not die at this point.
Docuhorror doing something a little bit dangerous here, opting to pull from below. Those puffs sit on you for just a little bit too long. They will hit you, and he's got 1 heart right now.
Yep. But he's got a fairy, and that's his only refill, so it's not really that dangerous in that situation because of that.
Yeah, but if you can hold on to the fairy, that would be better.
Yeah, but that's your only heart refill, and that's sort of how he's playing it. That being said, we're going to see how long it takes to land a silver arrow here.
Wow.
The answer is no time at all.
Getting that piece of hard refill.
Sure, yeah, totally what we were looking for there.
So Load is over here basically just dismantling Ganon.
Yeah. No multi-shots, but that's not going to be an issue. It's going to... Getting it done is the important thing. That would have been a nice double.
Unfortunately, getting the multi-shot set up, you know,
yeah.
when there's only 1 shot left. So, GG to Load. Very good Ganon fight there, very quick.
Not in the channel, so I don't have the official time, but I don't think the official time is going to matter a whole heck of a lot in this race. Docu, why are you keeping the bee and not the fairy?
It's his pet.
I guess so. He did go back and get it back from the fairy, after all. So I do think we're going to be getting Load in here for an interview fairly shortly here. In the meantime, we're getting the old man delivered at 1 hour 57 minutes into the seed.
Oh, I'm just looking at the credits text. I don't think anyone wants Salmonella to come home.
Salmonella's homecoming, yep.
So Darku's making his way up to Turtle Rock to finish off his last dungeon and then go through GT and finish up the game.
Yep. Won't be too long, although what we need to do to find a sword is a completely... Oh, no, sorry, no. As we said, we do know there's 1 more sword at least.
He's going to make pretty extensive checks to find out, though. Going to pick up his blue mail in Spike Cave here.
All right. Looks like we're gonna Cane of Burna back out as well, picking up the hearts. Which, not a bad play. I can't remember if he's opened Turtle Rock already or not. He's going for spin speed too. Didn't get it. Oh yes, he did. Okay.
No, for the really quick run.
Yep.
Don't get to see that very often, but it's always cool when you do.
I'm just going to avoid the dead rocks entirely. We're already in the Dark World, so we'll just save some time by just not dealing with them. All right. And welcome, Load. GG on the race.
Thank you.
So, please tell me we've been pronouncing your name right.
It's German. It's Pille.
This is why I stopped even saying. Well, I'm not sure if is it Load or is it like Loa?
No, Load is okay. Just
Yeah,
call
okay.
me Load, and it's.
I'm like
Okay.
I don't know the specific if it's Pile, if it's Pilla, if it's some GG on the race.
Pille is okay.
Okay, there we go. We got the sound changed over. We're not going to get echoes. Okay, we're all good. But yeah, that was. Did you have fun on that one there, Load?
Well, that's it. Oh my god, the lamp just killed me.
Yeah, you didn't like. We noticed that you didn't like the slightly more complex dark rooms there.
Yes, I trained them, but I'm not comfortable with it, so I skipped it.
Fair enough.
Well, it was a pretty good choice in the long run anyways, as the only thing that was really in a dark room was, well, aside from the ones you had to go through anyways, was the fire rod, and unfortunately docuhorror wasn't even able to take advantage of the silvers that unlocked for him for various reasons, so...
Yeah, the fire rod in the dark maze was... Yeah, I could have get it, but... I decided to skip it and wait for the lamp, so...
And it didn't cost you too much. docuhorror definitely had the chance to make the plays, but did take a couple deaths through the route, as well as just not having quite the right routing. He missed the ice rod for a while, of course, which was a big problem. Of course, he also didn't do an Ice Palace play like you had, so he's also missing the... He's in Turtle Rock right now with the Fighter Sword.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. Oh. Yeah, I checked everything. Everything. I went in ice? No, Ice Rod was on Desert, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So every pendant was required to dip it?
Well, Ice Palace got you the Master Sword. It wasn't required to dip it.
Yes, because the Master Sword is also in Ganon's Tower. Yeah.
Exactly, and who knows and we don't know where the fourth sword was yet either. So it wasn't... Ice Palace wasn't completely required, but it wasn't an entire waste of your time either.
Yes.
Which is always good It would have been a real pain to go all the way through ice and then just go, well, let's go do Mire, and then it's like, oh, well, now I'm in go mode.
Yeah, at first I thought like there's nothing in ice, and the last chest I checked was the Master Sword, so I was, yeah, it's something, I take it.
Yeah. No, but fantastic race all around. Kept yourself going all the way through.
Thank you.
What else of interest was there? Hammers, yeah, such an early Dark World access in this scene.
Yes, and I did the Dark World before I go to Eastern because I thought it's Hammer and everything for Dark World, so there has to be something. So I went to Skull Woods and find out that the two items were fireword locked. So
well, the one really silly thing. Do you know the one really silly thing you could have routed? Was you already had Dark World access before you finished Kakariko, right?
Yes, so
you could have
Hype Cave.
Yeah, you could have done Hype Cave. You could have done Swamp Palace at about 14 minutes.
Yeah.
We found the hook shot in Hype Cave, so when docuhorror walked out there, I was like, is he gonna Swamp Palace?
Because he did walk down there with his portal. So we're like, is he gonna do 5, 6? I can't remember. It was, but basically no hard screen mail Swamp Palace, and he didn't, but had the option to.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that gave you a fair bit of an advantage here was you had a much earlier trip up to Death Mountain than Doc you did. So you got the Titan's mitts, what, probably a good 15-20 minutes before him?
Probably.
Oh. Whoa. Okay.
Maybe even more.
Yeah.
So
And
he skipped Eastern too, or?
Yeah, you guys got the. I think you guys were in Eastern at like the same time. Actually, he just
Okay.
didn't go. He just didn't make that play for a while.
yeah, he picked up the...
Because of course he got the fire rod at the same time that he was doing Pod, or at the same time that he was doing Eastern Palace, right? Because obviously you put in that seed, you put together the Pod and Eastern Palace play.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So you guys, so he found that he got the fire rod because he did the dark route, so he got let off on a different route.
Ah, okay. That's unfortunate.
Also died in the Terrapin room, which cost him a fair amount of time as well. One of the costlier deaths he had in that seed. But Terrapin room is hard when he unfortunately missed the fire rod shots to light the torches down there.
Yeah, they're really easy to miss.
Overall, though, fantastic race. Any final thoughts on the seed overall?
Yes, I thought at first it was a jet seed, and then the lamp ruined everything.
Welcome to V29.
Hello. Oh.
Where so often it's just like, here, go everywhere. And then it's like, nah, actually, you don't get to go to go mode yet, though.
But it was okay, I thought. Sub 2, it's okay.
Well, time to see some laser bridge here. See if laser bridge has anything interesting for us.
I'm gonna be curious if like the fourth sword is here.
Yeah, if the fourth sword here is that obviously won't matter in the race. We're already 10 minutes behind the finisher, but hey, look, the Uncle Bombs. And a red rupee. A 10 bomb upgrade.
The golden version of the Uncle's bombs.
And a key. So there was a key in there still. After the first 3 chests in the dungeon were a key. The last key was still on Laser Bridge. Because of course it was.
Does that mean there's... What did Helmasaur actually drop? Did he have an item or did he drop the compass?
Trinex, you mean?
Or, yeah. The other big kind of lizardy thing.
I think that is exactly what it means, because I'm pretty sure that Docu also checked the big key chest as well, so... I do believe that would be accurate, that Trinex has the compass.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he actually grabbed... Actually, yeah, he'd still have another key if he didn't grab it. What am I talking about?
That's true, yeah, he had all 4.
Hard.
Actually, on that note, did you know, Load, that you didn't need to do the big chest in Turtle Rock?
No, I didn't. I miscounted the keys.
Okay. Because I'm like, this is one of the few times where you could actually you don't need to go to the big chest because you got 3 keys, because the first 3 chests were all keys. So you're already good to go.
Yeah, that's... I just wanted to do it quick and then miscounted the keys, and yeah.
Well, and if it had been a sword upgrade, you wouldn't have been sad about it regardless, so...
Yes, that's true.
It wasn't a sword upgrade, but it could have been.
What was in there? Bombs or something?
It was the map.
No.
It was not worth it, unfortunately. But you did it. All right. And of course, right as he switches to the hammer, the ice head the fires. Oh, and takes a death. I think we still have a fairy, though.
No, I believe
No, we
at
don't.
the potion shop.
Oh, right, he did, because he wanted the bee. Gets beat up by the mini Helmosaur as well. Might want to powder an anti-fairy here. Although, oh, there's one. Here it comes, and one more shot. Got it. No more magic.
Fortunately, nice enough to give you a full refill, like right here, but...
Yeah. We are going to have full health and full magic going into the fight. Attempt number 2. It's interesting. I wonder what the thoughts would be on actually switching to the ice head fairly quickly for hammer strats for unoptimal. Just to try to keep the ice head from icing the entire floor by the time you kill the fire head.
I mean, I personally do that one, just because I really don't like putting up with the ice.
Of course, the main reason that most runners will deal with... Ooh, takes another death. He might decide to net a fairy this time, as he has a whole bunch of magic left over this time. We shall see what he decides to do. There it is. Caught a fairy.
Alright, probably going to opt to powder 1, maybe 2 more just for the health.
Yep.
Unfortunately, even with Blue Mail, Trinex is pretty rough. Getting bopped by the body still does a considerable amount of damage.
Yeah, having no sword that we can use at all is not making this a lot more fun. Because we'd have to use spin slashes to do any damage, and that's almost not even worth, basically not worth doing because of the fact that the fight, our spin would only do Master Sword damage, which is just, whoa, that mini Helmosaur.
It's just gonna clip through all the blocks.
It didn't like getting shoved on top of that crystal block. What are we going for here, Docu? Are we going for just another fairy?
Any last comments before you hop out, Load?
No, I'm just tired. It's 2 in the morning. I have to sleep.
I must say, don't feel obligated to stay. You are good to go. It could still be, of course, probably another 10 to 15 minutes before Docu's done here. Assuming we can get a good Trinex fight off as well.
But thank you for joining us in the interview. Definitely thank you for doing this race. GG and good luck.
One more try for one more fairy catch. Nope, not fast enough. Okay, we have 2 fairies now.
They just insisted on flying into him.
Yeah, that was about 5 fairies absorbed in a row, all of which he wanted to instead catch and put in a bottle.
I mean, you can't blame them for not wanting to go in the bottle.
I don't know, I have no idea how fairy economics works. Maybe they enjoy being in a bottle and carried around and taking on adventures.
I mean, I feel like that's more of a psychology than an economics topic, but...
Fair. That would be psychology more than economic.
But yes, that is a thing they could enjoy. I mean, they're clearly not stuck in there because they're capable of getting out on their own when you fall down, so...
Yeah. Of course, the one oddity about this fight, of course, is that when you re-hit the heads with the magic shot, it doesn't reset their timers. It just hits them again, which can be a little annoying when you just try to spam the fire rod a bunch and then go to hit him and it becomes invulnerable again.
The good news with the ice head in particular, though, is it does take damage from the fire rod. The fire head does not take damage from the ice rod, though.
Well, took some body shots from the Trinex, but handed them right back and dealt with them fairly quickly there with the hammer strats.
So docuhorror is now going to make their way over to GT.
And just to answer the question in chat, you cannot do Hammer Ganon outside of Swordless mode. It was a specific change to that was done to allow Swordless mode Ganon to be completable. We will require a Master Sword, and there was a sword upgrade in Ganon's Tower.
Alright, well, this time we don't get to play the guessing game because we already know where it is, so, that'd be kind of cheating.
Especially if there's not a key on right side, because it wouldn't even really have an effective way to change locations. And it...
Oh, there was a key.
There was a key.
Okay,
there was no piece of heart. You're a liar.
I am a liar.
There's only a piece of heart on Bob's torch. We killed Bob. We never saw Bob, so no one knows that we killed Bob.
Look, in my defense, food usually acts as health in games, and it's a burrito, so no.
Okay.
I'm just blind. I have my glasses off at the time. That's my excuse.
I was busy stopping the key game late, so I wasn't even paying attention to that first room the first time through. But of course, Load getting his guess in chat here. Load, I think you might be right.
Depends if he decides to mirror out of here.
I don't think we're getting Dark Magician strats when we started right side in the first place.
Look, I've seen stuff, okay?
I've seen things. I've seen them with my eyes.
Alright, he's about to get his big key here. I'm curious if he'll keep looking for a tempered sword, see if the fourth sword is here, or if he's just going to opt to say, good enough, I'll go. Well, looks like I got that answer pretty quickly.
Yep. Okay, who wants to guess where another sword upgrade is?
Yeah, I guess we can throw numbers for sword location.
9 through 23, everyone. 9 through 23 for sword locations. Or we can go all the way up to 27 if we want.
Yep, because we only... Well, 26, we know what Moldorm's chest is.
True. Oh, we can still go all the way to 27. Just don't guess 27, guys. It's a bad guess.
Yeah, you're gonna be wrong. So, time for the good old rando room.
I guess this is it. This is all we're checking. Then we're going up the tower. Given by the change to the mirror. Well, hello, book. This would be interesting if he actually jumps out of the tower and goes and checks the ether tablet. I don't think he will. Nope.
It'd be really, really funny if he did that and there was another sword there.
It would be amazing if that was a thing. So unfortunately, we're not getting an Ice Armos kill today.
So docuhorror is going to have to be very careful here due to health reasons.
Still has 2 fairies, of course.
I mean, it's this seed. Why wouldn't we have 2 more fairies? But
yeah, it is the fairy seed. Unfortunately, we did not find that last bottle, so we will not get to confirm if that last bottle was indeed a fairy to top off the seed.
I'm just going to go ahead and guess that it was probably a fairy. I've noticed that sometimes when a seed likes to put like 2 or 3 of the same bottle, you're just going to end up with all 4 being the same bottle.
This is just chaos. DocuHorror, why?
It's safe. You got through the room.
Just change the crystal pegs 5 million times.
Oh no!
God. End the death.
Oh, that would have looked so good, and then the bonk happened because the blocks at the end.
That was a dash and a half. So who's clipping that? That's just silliness.
You have to definitely give him points for style on that one. It's just unfortunate that it turned around and didn't quite work the way he wanted.
Of course, that being the location that lets us know that the developers did intend for bonking across gaps to be an intended mechanic, as the only way to get there in the vanilla game would be to boots bonk or to bomb jump. But
there's a little bit of silliness also considered bonking into the bonk rocks to get to health, getting you killed.
Yeah. Little bit of irony there. Little bit of irony there.
Docu breaking out the archer sniper strats here and just shooting everything with silver arrows. Literally everything.
He's gonna have a little bit of a problem because he's only got 6 arrows left. He's gonna run himself out of arrows again. And we might be seeing Master Sword Silverless Ganon for virtue of not having arrows.
We could do a hybrid strat. Hybrid strats are fun. I'm used to doing them. It's simple. You jump in again with 2 or 3 silver arrows, and then try to keep shooting him, and then realize you have none.
I think hopefully, I believe there is an arrow pickup in the pots after the Lanmolas here, so hopefully he knows that and will pick those up. Okay, 2 for 2. 1 more arrow. 1 more kill.
I've got to give him so, like, he's actually pretty accurate with the bow, all things considered. Between shooting probably 3...
Get more arrows! Please pick up the skulls? No?
No arrows.
Okay. We are not gonna have arrows for Ganon.
He's just having fun at this point. It's Master Sword Silverless time.
Of course, we get a magic refill there, because why not?
If only there's a full arrows drop. So I think arrow count has definitely been one of the issues Docu's been having this run.
Yeah, DocuHorror definitely had some issues with arrow count throughout the seed.
On the other hand, though, he has actually put the arrows to quite good use for the most part.
Yeah.
Like I said, his accuracy is pretty impressive, having gotten all of those kills in the gauntlet with the silvers.
no torch, no tower despawn, so we're happy about that. We don't want to have to climb the tower again, especially since that means we'd have to go find arrows before we could even start it.
Well, there's one more chest that could be another sword.
Or arrows. Both equally important at this point.
That wall, what is with... The walls of this game do not want to break open. We had the one in Pod earlier take 3 bombs to get through as well.
Extra fairy! Let us see what is in the last chest. Okay, oh, there we go. It unbroke itself.
It's a big 20.
Big 20.
Alright, so at this point he's just going to go through the standard fight with Trolldorm 2. I was going to say Moldorm 2, but I guess I'll just change that. Not too much different here, except the floor is more annoying. It's a little bit harder to find a place to stand.
Not the most fun with Master Sword.
Yeah, Hammer Moldorm is a hard enough fight with the hammer. I think I said that already. I think that's redundancy. Anyways, point remains, he smashed it.
Yeah. And... okay, I thought we were going to skip the heart container for a second there. I'm like, really?
He's got enough. He's got enough. He's good. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, but he didn't know it was a heart container. Well, the bumpers not being a lot nicer to docu than they were to load.
They're not clipping him into the spikes, at least. I'd never actually seen that before. Alright, time for our geometry test.
Of course, while we're getting to the very end of this seed here, I do want to start giving out some of the shoutouts, of course. Of course, thank you very much to Speed Gaming Network of channels for hosting part of this tournament for us. Do consider giving Speed Gaming their Speed Gaming 6 channels a follow to keep up to date on this tournament, as well as the number of other speedrunning tournaments that are going on at this time. Also, if you are enjoying the tournament in general, the ALTTP Randomizer channels 1 through 4 are all also hosting this channel on a very regular basis at the moment. So definitely consider getting them in there. Of course, the runners themselves. If you've enjoyed the runners, consider giving the runners a follow. The good old binary fight. No doubles. It's binary. We're going to get at least a fairy. We'll see what else we're getting. If we're getting anything else. Of course we dig up a golden bee immediately.
We don't need more bees. There's the arrow drop. Not quite sure what he's... Bombs, please.
Might want a few more. There we go. That should be fine. Oh, well that's... Okay, please, fairy.
Fairy, come back.
Okay, Docky, what are we farming for now? You have 15 arrows. That's more than enough.
Given that he's doing a Master Sword Silverless, I can't really say too much about making sure he's well stocked on everything, basically.
Yeah.
He was probably hoping for one more fairy to maybe put in a bottle. I'm not sure if he's got the open space, but... So this is a really, really difficult fight with just Master Sword. You, especially without Red Mail, you can take a lot of damage very quickly here.
3, 4. We need 12 spin slashes. Whoop. 5. 6, 7. 8, 9. 10. 11. And this next one should let us get to phase 2.
Which unfortunately is the worst part of the fight. Fortunately, Cape and half magic, so plenty of opportunity to get a lot of hits in here. Unfortunately, the Cape does drain magic very quickly.
But does allow it to charge a spin, which is a significant advantage over Burnup because you sort of need to be able to spin to hit Ganon at all right now.
I hope he has... Yep, Blue Goo.
I ended up not using the Blue Goo for a little bit now.
Might as well opt to use the fairies.
Now use the Blue Goo. You've already got it. Just hit the Y button. There we go.
I'm guessing he's going to cape back up and just finish this off.
He's pretty
once
close
he gets
already.
Yeah, right there.
Yep. Oh, missed the slash. Okay, canceled that fire bat, so we should be fairly safe out from here on out.
Now, just like Load's fight, the teleports on Ganon are fixed up to... oh, is this... Yeah. It's fixed for both runners for the first time you fight Ganon. Has to be a little bit careful about the fireback coming around here.
That was about the nicest teleports I've ever seen. That was like 2 extra teleports out of like 8. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Needs to be careful when you can't see Ganon, though, because don't want to get knocked off.
I don't know... Oh, we're just... Okay, just missing the timing, unfortunately. You need to hit the torch.
Unfortunately, torches are now out of sync. He should take this opportunity to reset both of them.
Oh, that's not a good spot to stand! Oh, saved it.
Gonna get the double out of it, though.
Don't go down there. That's a bad place to be. Okay, it's fine. Everything is fine. No problems here.
Playing very risky in this fight.
You need to light the other torch.
Ah, the good old torch hitbox coming through. And he's gonna do one more teleport cycle.
That might be good enough. No, it's not. It's not good enough. Do you have another blue potion? Okay, you are using... Oh, that's a death. Okay, but that's actually not a huge issue. I thought he was going to take a fall. So as long as knockback doesn't occur upon being revived, we're fine. So that was about the bet. It was probably better that he died there than not, actually. A sort of very odd occurrence there. That one's not a good one to die to, though. I don't think he has another one.
No, unfortunately, that was both fairies.
That I don't have access to the channel. I have a feeling that might be a forfeit, given how long we're sitting on this screen. Yeah,
unfortunately, docuhorror has decided to forfeit from the race at this point. Can't really blame him after a Ganon fight. going really poorly and already being... he's in the chat now. Don't worry, docuhorror. It was a really, really rough run, and it was still an enjoyable watch, even with some of the mishaps that went on. Thank you for putting in as much effort as you did and getting us to this point here.
And thank you for making this the true Seed of Fairies. Because you made it the Seed of Fairies. The seed gave you bottles of fairies, and you're like, yeah, let's double down on this. I imagine you're probably not coming in for an interview. If you do want to come in, yeah, you're not. Okay, that's fine. It's one heck of a race. It was actually very funny because both you and Load at one point had basically opposing magic items. You had the fire rod and the cape. Load had the ice rod and both cane. And we're like, okay, fine.
It's like a puzzle of just like overlaying the two and getting a nice picture out of it.
Unfortunately, of course, Loaded dipped Ice Palace found the sword, the big key chest in Ice Palace. So that's where he got his third sword. Who knows where the fourth sword was?
Or the fourth fairy bottle.
Or the fourth fairy bottle, because
I'm just gonna go with it as a fairy bottle.
Yeah, it was obviously a fairy bottle. Anyways, I think we have given most of our shoutouts. I do, of course, want to give a thank you, of course, to our tracker, Cassidy Moen, who has already gone on her way once she already knew that we found all of the items. But still a big thank you to Cassidy Moen for being our tracker today. And thank you to you, Voidborn Beast, for commentating with me today.
Thank you, Spiffers.
Oh, apparently RJ's one of the commentators. I'm not RJ, guys. I am Spiffers the Grand.
I mean, it was a quick tag in, so. But yes, definitely thanks for joining me on this. It was a fun one to commentate, a little bit unusual in a couple places. A lot of fairy shenanigans going on.
A lot of fairy shenanigans, and some bee shenanigans too, which you don't often get a lot of.
Yeah, a couple interesting uses of bees, delaying the ice head on Trinex and just messing with blinds a bit, so. But with that, I believe we are relatively done here, if you don't have anything else to add.
No, I think that's everything. So yeah, as I mentioned before, speed gaming channels are hosting this tournament a lot. ALTTPR Randomizer channels got a lot of these going on. I guess I'll give one quick look at the schedule to see what we've got coming up here. We had 2 races start at 8 o'clock, I believe. Might be, yeah. So we had 2 races start at 8 o'clock. Gaming, and we have a race starting at 9 o'clock on here on Speed Gaming 3 between Melphis and Trident Tail. So if you do want to stay tuned for that, that'll be starting up fairly shortly. Anyways, everyone have a fantastic day.
Yep, have a good night, everyone.